ready for an experience like no other from the creators of the Cheap Seats podcast. This is FF Podsquad. We're bringing you fantasy football like never before. This is fantasy for fans by fans, featuring the soon-to-be famous Podsquad sound-off. Now, here's your tour guide for this fantasy adventure, the fantasy guru himself, the big man, Aaron Spillman.
What is going on, everybody? You can't see me for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on. We're having a little technical difficulties. Let me bring Dustin in real quick. My co-host, Bluegrass Beard, Dustin Neese. Dustin, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm not sure what what happened to the video.
Should be at the bottom of the screen. Make sure your camera's turned on.
You stay on. I'm going to go back out.
Okay, all right. So anyways, I am Dustin the Bluegrass Beard Niece. This is the Fantasy Football Podsquad podcast show. I don't know what the hell we are, to be honest with you. Does he have it? Nope, he does not have it. So anyways, well.
Crew, we gotta roll with it like this for right now, guys. I can't figure out what's going on. I don't have my tech in here. We had problems just a little bit ago with it, but screw it. We're just gonna roll with it for right now. If we come back on, we come back on. You know, everybody said that I had a beautiful face for radio, so that's what we're gonna go with. So right now, just bear with me, guys. I'm rolling with it. So anyways, like my man Bluegrass Beard has said, welcome in. This is FF Podsquad. Today is October 1st, 2025, and we are live, even though you can't see me, guys. Real quick, I want to run this ad real quick, Dustin, so bear with me. It is Treat. It's a gaming company that everybody should be downloading and playing. Guys, if you guys are dog lovers, this is the app that actually helps shelter dogs. You go on, you play this app, you play this game, you pick a region and you pick a shelter that you want to represent, and you actually go through on this shelter and you pick dogs that you want to represent. And when you play these games, you win treats for free. And these treats, these free treats are sent to these actual shelter dogs. So it's cool that you're helping out like that. Plus, you could actually be like a remote foster care and donate money if you want. It's just cool. But with that said, let's get on with the show. Dustin, welcome in, buddy. I'm glad you could be with us on such short notice. We originally had Mr. Z Nasty Greg Zook scheduled to be our co-host tonight, but wasn't happening. So I'm glad you could be here. So thanks for being with us, bud.
I'm a filling in machine. I got you.
So let's get into the show. Let's get into Fantasy 4-Pack. This week, we're going to be previewing Thursday Night Football like we did last week. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we try to give you guys the best advice going forward for each week. Of course, we're not experts. And, of course, especially this year, probably more so than any years in the past, we've been wrong a lot. I don't know about you, Dustin, but I've been wrong quite a bit on a few players.
You speak for yourself. I'm on point this year, boy. I'm on point.
All right, let's get into this Thursday night preview. It is the 49ers at the Rams. Kyle Shanahan historically has had Sean McVay's numbers. So, question number one: who do you think scores the most fantasy points in this game?
Thursday night football's been kind of weird.
Some games you get some barn burners, but then you see a lot of games that just like I don't know, it feels like they just it's obvious like they don't have enough prep time.
You get a lot of weird ones on Thursday night football. You get so the obvious answer here would be CMC or Puka.
Obviously.
So those would be your easy answers.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Thursday night football kind of, like I said, it's very strange. It's usually somebody. It's usually an off the wall guy that kind of catches 2 touchdowns or something.
Right. I get that.
So, aside from the 2 easy ones, I guess the next easiest one would be Adams.
Right.
Kyron Williams. Give me Adams.
Okay.
The connection between him and Stafford has looked good. I feel like Adams could catch 2 touchdowns in this and go. So give me Adams.
Adams is still doing it. I mean, he's still probably a top 10 wide receiver. He might not be a wide receiver 1 in fantasy, but in real time, he's probably still a top 10 receiver.
What do they call them? The constant veteran, the
consummate veteran, the consummate professional. He's
gonna be in the right place, and Stafford's gonna give him chances.
One of the things.
Give me Adams to score the most points in this.
All right. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and take the lower hanging fruit here, and I think I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey, especially in PPR formats. I think there's a lot of injuries to the wide receivers with the 49ers. I know Ricky Pearsall's out, Jennings is banged up, Ayuk's out, Kittle's out. So I expect them to utilize Christian McCaffrey a lot more going forward in the passing game.
Volume.
So I'm going to have to go with Christian McCaffrey, but I will say I do think you might see other players, other running backs step up. You might not see McCaffrey utilized as much in the running game.
Kind of him and Robertson on the field at the same time. McCaffrey kind of splitting out, or
I think you could see that. I honestly think Jordan James. I'm not sure if he's healthy right now. I think he's a little banged up. I'm not sure if he plays at all tonight or Thursday night, but I do think he's going to get some looks going forward, though. All right, so obviously Puka's the top wide receiver in this whole game. You kind of answered my question on how do you view Devontae Adams for this game. How do you view him for the rest of the season?
I'm fine with Adams. I mean, there's nobody that drafted Adams to be the wide receiver 1 on their team, I don't think.
I agree, yeah.
I don't realize why you would.
Not unless you're taking 3 running backs right off the bat.
Adams is going to have up and down games, but I think it's kind of what you expected coming into the season.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that coming into the season, you didn't
expect fantasy-wise. I didn't expect, obviously I expected Puka to be the guy, and he is the guy. And you're seeing Puka getting like 10 to 12 targets every game. And it's crazy because Devontae he's still getting a lot of targets too. They're relying on their receivers.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
All right.
They're not 6 guys that are going to get targets in this offense. I mean, I think it is what it looks like. I mean, Puka's the number one guy. Adams is the number two guy. Kyron's going to catch some dump offs, and you're going to get maybe a handful of targets to the rest of them. I mean, I think it is what it is. I mean, when you look at it, you'd say, oh, that's probably, if you was playing it on Madden, that's the way you would play it. And I think that's kind of how they're playing out.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Who do you expect, or who do you think will be the leading receiver for the 49ers going forward this season?
Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, I'm not going to say that. I mean, if Kittle comes back, I expect Kittle to be a lot more involved. I don't know if Ayuk comes back at all this year. I know they're talking about him like possibly week 6, but John Lynch came out and said it's going to be a good little bit. I just don't expect to see him the rest of the year.
I think honestly, if you're solely looking at the wide receiver slot, I think it'll be somebody different every week. I think it'll be more like Buffalo, where you get a big game out of one this week and a big game out of another the next week, and
right.
There's no
actually. I started to say you're starting to see that with the Chargers, but as of late, everybody is eating. Even Lad McConkey, as bad as he's been doing, he's been getting the targets and receptions. He's just his targets are, there's no weight, there's no value in his targets. Like all the valuable targets are going to Quentin Johnson and Keenan Allen.
Yeah, well,
and Amari and Hampton.
I would say that Ladd's disappointing based off of the preseason expectations, but if you would have got this last year out of Ladd McConkey, you'd have been thrilled.
Yeah, him coming in as a rookie. Right. How do you view him going forward?
Flex. He's a flex guy.
He hasn't shown flex yet, but he is getting the target.
They still forget it for you?
No, definitely not. He's on my bench right now. Actually,
so you don't have flex consideration.
No, right now until he shows me a little bit more. There's other players that I like ahead of him that
I still have a hard time.
I'm not saying I'm out on him, but I'll say this. This was a question I brought up in the Podsquad community, and somebody commented and said it's a lose, lose, lose. In other words, he was saying you lose if you bench him and he goes off. You lose if you start him and he keeps this trend. And then you lose because you can't trade him to anybody, because who are you going to trade for? He has no equity right now. He has no value.
Ain't nobody going to give you nothing for him.
No, not at all. All right. So we're going to get this. It kind of got off topic, but we're going to get back into fantasy quarterback. With the 49er defense being one of the top in the NFL right now, especially against the run and receivers, what kind of expectations do you have for the Rams running back? Do you see it being the Kyron show? And to follow that question up real quick, do you see any of the Rams running backs throughout the year gonna maybe not overtake Kyron at the starter, but take away touches from him?
No, so I think you're going to see more of what you've seen. I think they're making a conservative effort. God, words are hard today. They're making a conservative effort to not put 100% of the load on Kyron and kind of load manage him a little bit better. So that way he's fresher coming into the end of the season. I think into the season you're going to see a lot more of the 85% snap share out of him.
Right. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, as we ramp up toward playoff time, I think you're going to see a lot more Kyron. But I think as you go throughout the season, you're going to see, closer to 65% snap share, and them trying to conserve him a little bit
I'd
more.
re- I would really like to see Jarquez Rogers. I think I'm saying his name right. He was rookie running back, drafted like in the fourth round of the draft. He got that explosiveness. That's something that Kyron and Blake Corum, who's pretty much a carbon copy of Kyron.
Yeah.
Um, that's something they both lack is they don't really have that explosiveness. And I'd like to see Rogers he kind of reminds me of what kind of like Keaton Mitchell for the Ravens.
Yeah, but I think you'll see that as long as Kyron's doesn't go out.
Right.
It's handy to have that. It's like Tony Pollard in Dallas. Like he looked great when he come in as the change of pace back, and then he gets the
Right.
full. It's, a
Yeah,
problem.
I mean, you're seeing it right now with Pollard in
Yeah,
Tennessee. He don't have
yeah,
Spears is out right now. He don't have that tandem to kind of get him fresh. Last year, you seen it. He was looking pretty good at the lead back, but he had Spears out there to lean on
yeah,
for most of the year.
yep, yeah. So I think Rodgers could be one of those guys where he looks good as he comes in as the change of pace and kind of tries to keep Kyron a little fresher. But no, I don't. I don't have any big fears. I have fears for Kyron tonight, or tomorrow night, but I don't think you're going to bench him. But he's the only running back that I'm considering playing, if that's the question. I mean,
Okay. Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm not playing Rodgers in my lineup. Like,
Right. Obviously, you're not. Maybe stash him if you're in a dynasty format. Maybe stash him on your taxi.
maybe, or even, I mean, I don't even have a problem if you have Kyron stashing him, just in case Kyron goes down once you get through bye weeks. But I still don't know if that's the stash I want because I still think if Kyron goes down, I think it's Corum that comes in as the predominant ball carrier.
All right. Okay. Okay. Well, that's it for our fantasy four pack. Let's get into a little something I like to call Pod Squad Sound Off. All right. This is the show, guys, where we're using your shit pretty much. This is from the web. This is my picks. This is my co-host, the Bluegrass Beers picks, and this is your all's picks. So, real quick, let me invite anyone who wants to come in, and I'll put this in the comments for everybody. I'll put the link in the comments, guys, and y'all can. Let me see how to do this on this computer. Oh, here we go. All right, guys. Sound off is engaged. So come on in whenever you want, guys. Don't be shy about it. And if you're afraid to be seen, take your camera off, like mine is right now. All right, first question. Week 4. I'm gonna let you start it off, Bluegrass. Who do you give your fantasy game ball to for week 4?
Probably Puka.
Yeah, Puka did have a really good game.
I mean, if you had Puka, it's pretty hard to. It was pretty hard to lose. I know.
Yeah.
In the Huddle Buddies League that I brought you into, I
Mm-hmm.
was looking pretty good until that Rams game, and Puka pretty well brought my opponent completely back, and I ended up losing. 40-point games are hard to beat.
Yeah, they
as long as you
are.
got a full lineup set. So I would
Yep.
say, I'd say my game ball would probably go to Puka. I mean,
Yeah. I'm not arguing with that. I mean, but my thing, and I'm not going to call it low hanging fruit, but of course it is. I'll say that I think everybody expected Puka to put up numbers, maybe not 40 points, but 20 anyways. So I'm just saying I'm not surprised by that. Let's just say
No,
that.
we didn't say surprised.
No. All right. Well, my pick, and I'm not going to say I'm necessarily surprised, but he showed up when the team needed him. George Pickens, 8 receptions, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I can't remember the points. I think it was maybe like 25 points or something like that. Almost 30 points.
I tell you what, and let's get off topic just a little bit here. Was that not the most entertaining damn tie you've ever witnessed?
Oh, absolutely. And that was that not that was Thursday night football.
No, that was Sunday night football.
Sunday night. I'm sorry, that was Sunday night football. That's right. Yeah, I mean, for a primetime game, that's what you want to see.
Dude, that was probably that might turn out to be game of the year, and it ended in a tie. And all the viewers might not know, but I absolutely despise the damn tie. That was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, it was. It was. I hated that came out as a tie, but
yeah, I was really hoping they'd run that extra second off the clock there at the end. Being a Cowboys.
I'll tell you a quick little story about that game real quick. A buddy of mine, you're in this league, the Squad League. He had T. Higgins starting as his wide receiver too. And he was looking to be down, and he probably going to lose that game. Especially, I don't know what Higgins ended up with, but I don't think it was anywhere near what he ended up getting. But I told him to the guy that he was playing, he was barely up on it. He was going to start Higgins, and the guy he had playing he was playing against. His opponent had Tucker Kraft. Well, I told him, I said, you got Romeo Doubs on the bench. I said, Dallas is the worst defense in the NFL against receivers and fantasy. I was like,
that's another candidate for MVP right there, Romeo Doubs.
Yeah. I definitely. He didn't have as much of the yardage, but he had the point.
He had touchdowns.
He had 3 touchdowns. All 3 of Love's touchdowns went to him.
Yeah, that's 18
I love that.
Yeah. I don't know what his receptions and his yards was, but that's
All right, so the Pod Squad community pick, and I think this was more because he finally broke out. Ashton Jeanty, 138 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 2 receptions, 17 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They finally utilized him the way they needed him.
That is a big game. And did I see correctly that he went back to his Boise State straight up and down stance?
Yeah, you did see that. Okay. You sure did. And I think that's gonna be something that's. I think that'll help him be a little bit more comfortable in the backfield.
If that's your stance, you don't need to change it. I hate it when quarterbacks come in and coaches are like, "Oh, I'm going to fix his throwing motion." And if you've made it that far with that throwing motion, don't screw with it. I mean,
but they all go through. You even look at, like, I watched recent Hard Knocks with the Buffalo Bills, and Josh Allen was talking about how he changed his throwing mechanics and everything. Like, everybody,
wasn't it?
Part of it was footwork, part of it was throw. Like, you can tell, like, he got more of a 3/4 throwing motion now, but he also throws it up. He got the higher release now than what he previously had, and he's a 1,000 times more accurate.
Yeah, and I could see, like, you remember Rodgers coming out of college, he held that ball up here on the drop pass.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff. I mean, there's examples of where that works, but there's more examples of where it gets in these guys' heads. And
you see, I would say that all the quarterbacks that come into the pros, they probably, every one of them are probably tweaked a little bit. I mean, unless unless like you got, you come from a pro style offense in college, and
Probably.
maybe you might have a personal quarterback coach, which a lot of your higher profile quarterbacks probably do.
Yeah. I
I-
just don't like messing with something. I mean, just as simple as the way he stands in the backfield. Like, why even
yeah,
mess? Like,
I get it. I get that, but like if you're not, that was the knock on like Josh Allen. He wasn't an accurate passer coming in. The
right,
first 2 years of the year of his of
NFL.
the yeah, his NFL career. I mean, you look his he really didn't start to really ascend until 2020.
He didn't. Year 3 was when he kind of put it all together.
Yeah, yeah. Um. All right, let's get into our next subject: waiver wire pickup for week 5 and the rest of the season. Actually, who do you like? Who's your number one waiver priority for week 5?
If he's still available, what's his first name? Old Marks from Houston.
Woody Mark.
Woody.
Yeah, yeah, Woody Mark, the kid from USC.
Yeah. If he's still available, I'd say it'd be the number one pickup. His snap share and carries go up and up and up every week, and Chubbs are going down. I think Chubbs will remain involved somehow.
Yeah,
But
I think Marks is going to be more involved in the pass game.
yeah, that would be my number one waiver wire ad. I mean, I think he kind of got it forgotten. I think you got a chance that he's still available because I think Trey Benson kind of took all the headlines.
Yeah, he did last week. I picked. I'm sorry, I didn't pick him up. I actually had him drafted in a couple leagues, thankfully, because he wasn't available. In 12-team formats, I'd be surprised if he was on waivers.
You didn't get in on it last week. You better get in on it this week because he definitely ain't making it to next week.
So my waiver pickup of the week is Darius Slayton with the neighbors going down. I think
injury too.
Yeah, it was. I think you're going to see more production out of a little bit of everybody. I mean, I think Slayton could step it up, but I also think you're going to see more from Theo Johnson, and of course Wandale is going to be involved more. But I think Slayton. What is it?
Have they released that Neighbors is an ACL yet?
Yeah. Okay. He's out for the year. Yeah. All right. So.
But I assumed watching it live, but
yeah. My waiver pickup for the year is Kenneth Gainwell. Especially if you're one of those guys that has
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
A Pittsburgh running back. Caleb Johnson, I'll just say I think he's going to be a bust this year. I think he's still going to be in dynasty format. I think he's still going to be good, and I think he'll be good down the road. I think he's just got to learn the NFL game.
Well, and actually, me and a very close friend of mine were talking about it because I was really high on Caleb Johnson coming.
I was too. You're one of the ones. You and my buddy Bo were talking him up while he was still in college, and I took a look at him. I'm like, man, this kid's nasty.
Well, I think one thing that and one thing I was telling this friend of mine, because we're in a dynasty league together, and he's got Caleb Johnson,
right?
And of course, he's trying to get
Warren.
Yeah, well, he's trying to get Warren off of me.
Right.
I just told him I'm not trading you, Warren, because as much as I thought Caleb, if you'd have asked me before the season started, I probably would have traded you, Warren, because I thought Johnson was going to be a big factor in this. But looking back on it now, it's kind of stupid for thinking that, because Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers has got to trust you in pass protection. Aaron Rodgers has got to trust you to not put the ball on the ground. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to let him on the field until he shows.
Yeah. And I did, and I talked to another buddy of mine, and he was talking like he heard out of camp that Caleb Johnson was having a lot of trouble with footwork. and they just wasn't picking up the plays as fast as what the coaches had liked. Now this was after the season. He kept all this information himself. I'll tell you who it was. Raider J, piece of crap. That's cool though. I mean, I would have probably kept it myself too.
Yeah, I probably would. I don't blame you.
But yeah, he was telling me, he was hearing things out of camp that Johnson just wasn't really picking up on things. All right, so Luke McCaffrey at the squad pick for this week. I've been kind of watching him. I got him on. I've been tagged him. I flagged him to check out and stuff, and he kind of, he's Christian's brother. I mean, he's a wide receiver. He's a slot guy. I think he could get a lot of volume, especially with McLaurin being out right now. And I think, for those season, I think he could be a possible flex down the road. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you a stash that I don't really hate for the rest of the season is Trevor Etienne. If something was happened to Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba's been getting banged up. He's actually.
I'm not sitting here telling you to go get him and stash
but
him.
If you got Chuba,
yeah.
If you got Chuba, Trevor wouldn't be bad. You're not going to utilize the last person on your bench that often, anyways, unless
I'd like you to get through bye weeks, a little more bye weeks before you go do it. But I mean,
before you go, I get it.
To keep out, an idea to keep in the back of your mind.
All right. Well, we're going to get into our love-hate for week 5. We're going to start off with quarterbacks, and we're going to do this one a little bit different. This one could be a super flex edition.
Okay.
Who do you love for week 5 as at the quarterback position?
Now, hold on, you wrote these down for me.
I know you were talking Danny Dimes.
Yeah, that was it. I love Danny Dimes.
You're not worried. The Raiders' defense is actually not bad against quarterbacks.
Danny Dimes is lighting it up,
but
bro.
Danny Dimes he had a bad week last week. Do you like him for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it.
All right. Where do you think he finishes?
Shit, I don't know.
You think he's top 15?
Yeah, I mean, Superflex, he's definitely fucking playable. I mean...
Yeah. Definitely a Superflex. All right.
Not Superflex. Right now, he's still kind of a fill-in for me, just because I don't trust it wholeheartedly.
I started him last week or the week before last, and it worked out for me. Even though I had Drake May, I benched Drake May for Danny Dimes that week. He had a good matchup, so I just tried it. Drake May had a good.
He's worth playing the matchups for sure, and non-super flex, but super flex, yeah. I mean,
I don't hate him as a number 2.
Yeah, I don't see if it's a 10-team super flex. I don't see how he doesn't fall in the top 20.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's in super flex PPR format. I think he's ranked 11th right now. He had kind of I ain't gonna call it a stinker, but he hit under projections. His rushing upside is what gets me.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that he's running this offense efficiently, I mean, it puts him in position to be able to score points. I mean,
I'm really not surprised by it. He's farther along, more developed, more progressive as a quarterback than what Anthony Richard could ever think to be right now.
By far, but I mean, how bad does this make Dayball look in New York?
Uh, I don't know. Dayball didn't draft him though. I mean, that's my biggest thing. I mean, I don't think it makes him look that bad.
Dayball
As
couldn't
long
get squat out of him, and now all of a sudden he's going to Indianapolis. He's scored every time he touches the ball.
I mean, he definitely didn't get this kind of production touchdown wise, but his first year under Dayball, he had a successful season. That's why they signed him to that lucrative contract that they had him to. Um, all right, so I love. Wait a minute, who do you hate this week? I know you said something about the Dolphins and stuff. Tua's matchup not that great this week against Carolina.
Is that who I said I hated?
Yeah,
All right, we're going to go with that.
yeah.
I don't
I
like Tua to
know
begin with. No Tyreek Hill. Bad matchup. Yeah, I'd fade Tua.
all right. Well, I'm gonna give you my love and hate. I love Justin Herbert this week versus Washington. Washington's defense given going up against quarterbacks is ranked in the bottom half of the NFL and in fantasy. Um, I think they're the ninth worst going against quarterbacks. And I hate Brock Purdy this week at the Rams. I think I hate Brock Purdy for the rest of the year, to be honest with you.
Because of the injuries to the wide receiver position.
That's a big part of it, and I just think he's overrated in general myself. I mean, I think Matt Jones could take this team to the playoffs.
Oh, where's the doc when we need him?
All right, so our squad loves Jared Goff, and as they should. I love every quarterback going against the Bengals this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Good pick.
and they hate Baker Mayfield at the Seahawks.
Hey, well, the Seahawks do have number one defense in fantasy right now.
Seahawks got a tough defense. I can't remember. I know they're in the top half, probably in the top half, going against quarterbacks. My thing is, a lot of times when you see East Coast teams traveling west and West Coast teams traveling east, it's I don't know, it's kind of weird. And then
I think that affects East Coast teams less.
I think it affects West Coast teams going east more, to be
Yeah,
honest
more.
with you.
Yes, and the East Coast teams going west. I think it affects less.
Right, but I will say that them going into that stadium, the 12th man, I think it's going to be hard for Baker to really get big numbers this week.
Well, I find it hard to hate Baker anytime.
I love Baker. I'll always love Baker. Cleveland were the Browns were dumbasses forever getting rid of him. That of course, the Browns didn't have Mike Evans or Boo Godwin, anybody like that. But a little side note: with all these injuries and stuff to the quarterback, you're starting to see some rookie quarterback play, and you're starting to see guys like Jackson Dart and stuff come in. Let me ask you this question. This was a question that popped up from the Pod Squad community. Who do you like better for the rest of the season? J.J. McCarthy or Jackson Dart?
J.J. McCarthy.
Because of the weapons?
He's still got J.J. He's still got...
They got Addison Hawkinson,
all those guys. And honestly, Jackson Dart looked good for like an NFL debut. If you take the rushing touchdown away, he still only had 151 yards or something like that throwing the ball.
Right.
So You take the rushing touchdown away, points don't look as good. He lost neighbors in that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't really have as much of, he lost Tracy in that game, which I think Scadaboo's probably the better running back anyways. But as far as an NFL offense, it would have been better for him to keep Tracy as well. So, yeah, it's still McCarthy for me.
All right. Okay. All right. So we'll get into running backs. Who do you love and who do you hate for week 5?
Running backs, I like Jonathan Taylor because I like everything about the Colts offense in this matchup.
All right. Okay. Yeah. They play the Raiders this week. Raiders defense has actually been better than what expected.
Yeah, but I expect this to be a blowout, and I expect Taylor to get a lot of carries.
All right. Okay. What about your hate? Who do you hate this week?
I don't remember. Who did I say?
Chase Brown, wasn't it?
Chase Brown. I hate Chase Brown this week, next week, the week after that, and every week past this till Joe Burrow shows back up.
So you hate pretty much for the rest of the season.
Yeah. If Joe Burrow ain't out there, I don't like Chase Brown. The Bengals got a bad offensive line. Defenses are going to stack the box and dare the Bengals to throw the ball. And if they ain't going to throw the ball and actually hand it off, he's running against a stacked box with a bad offensive line, and that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I don't hate it. I do hate it. I do hate it.
I do hate it too because I like Chase Brown.
Yeah. All right. So I love Cam Scadaboo this week at the Saints. The Saints have been giving up outrageous numbers to running backs this year. Like you just mentioned just a minute ago, Tyrone Tracy's hurt. So Scadaboo is going to get the lion's share of the touches in that backfield. He's utilized in the passing game. He can pass block. I love Scadaboo for the rest of the year and for week 5.
Scadaboo puts on the most entertaining 2-yard run you'll ever see.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does, sir. And I hate Jordan Mason at the Browns this week.
What?
I do. The Browns. No, I love Jordan Mason for the rest of the year, but I hate at the Browns this week. The Browns are no slouch on defense when it comes to the run game. Mason Graham is looking like he's going to be that type of guy, that pick. Just that defense in general, they can tackle, man. They're good against the run.
Now, a lot of these leagues that I'm streaming defenses in, the Browns defenses, high up there on my streaming options. If they're available, that's the one I'm going after to stream.
Yeah, if they play a shitty team,
this offense really hasn't looked great. And
that's really the only thing that kind of keeps me from going after that Browns defense is the offense.
Yeah.
It makes, bad offense keep
bad positions.
Yeah, and then it also puts them out there on the field a lot more when you got a lot of 3 and outs. So
they're going away from Joe Flacco and going to Dylan Gabriel this week. How you feel about that, old Brownie?
I think it's the right thing to do. They're 0-3, 0-4. No, they're 1-3. I'm sorry, they're 1-3. They got one win. They actually beat Green Bay. We didn't tie them, but it was a shitty game though. It was an ugly game. But that defense is going to keep them in game, but that offense is going to wear them out by the season. I think late in the season, unless that offense can give some glimmer of hope to them, that defense is going to be so wore down after the bye week that I think teams are going to run it up on them.
Are we going to see Shador this year, or is it going to be?
I think so. I think so. I think it'll see I think you have to.
I do too.
Unless
I don't.
unless Dylan Gabriel comes out and sets the league on fire, which I don't expect. I think you have to because they're going into next year with 2 draft picks in the first round, and if you don't know what you got in Shador or Gabriel by season's end, you're going to have all these questions, and if any of them show any glimmer, then you're just going to hang on that little small sample size of glimmer of hoping that they can be your franchise guy. So I'm going to say, yeah, you'll see him, but I'm going to say the Browns, if they don't have the number 1 pick, they're going to pick a quarterback. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pick that kid from Indiana.
Like him, do you?
I'm not saying I like him. I've just been hearing a lot about him.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the squad's picks real quick. They love Chuba Hubbard versus the Dolphins this week. And they hate Kyron Williams going against the 49ers. I think you still got to start Kyron Williams.
Yeah, only fear I have is that with San Francisco's inability to move the ball, the potential of that, stacking the
hurting
box,
their defense. Yeah,
hurting their defense, and Kyron kind of falling into the end zone there. I think, or if the Rams get up big in this game, Kyron's going to be running the ball to bleed the clock out toward the end there. So.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. I think I disagree with that hate, but
all right. Let's go with our love and hate for wide receivers for Week 5. Since you're the special guest co-host, who do you love? I believe you said it.
Yeah, it's a growing trend.
I believe you said the Colts. Michael Pittman. Yeah, Michael Pittman going up against the Raiders. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I do got Michael Pittman in a league or two, and I got him starting this week.
Well, I got him in the Chop League. I wonder who I got him from, but
you probably got him from me. I think. Yeah, that Chop League. I'm ashamed of myself. I call myself the fantasy guru, and thinking about it though, I'm really not surprised. I mean, if you look at my record historically, I'm always a slow starter. There have been very few seasons where I've come out and hit the gate run. I've had a couple, but very few. All right.
That's what we'll chalk it up to.
You said you hated Devontae Smith.
I do.
What about A.J. Brown? Do you hate him for
I don't like him either.
The rest of the year?
I don't like either one of them, to be honest with you. Not as a consistent starter.
I think they consistently disappear.
Yeah, I think you're going to see flashes here and there, but I think the Eagles have just proven to me that, I mean, we're going to ground and pound, and we're going to run you into submission. And
one of the things I've been saying is AJ's in the wrong offense. He's in a very run-heavy offense, and he's got a running quarterback who is at best an above average passer. At best.
Yeah. Well, another problem you have with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both is neither way it's great for the organization, but they're both such team guys, and they're not going to scream, they're not going to holler. You're not going to see them throwing the helmets on the sideline, and that works great. But boy, it sucks for fantasy owners because
Do you think if A.J. Brown, let's say he gets like 75 catches for like just 1,000 yards and maybe 3 touchdowns on the year, do you think he's out? You think he forces his way out?
Are they winning?
If he ends up not getting we'll just say mediocre numbers, by
And
the
the
end of the
Eagles
year.
win.
I think he'll be here. We'll say they're winning it. Yeah, we'll say they'll win it in this
I think
scenario.
he forces his way out. I think,
All
honest
right.
to God, I think A.J. Brown spent all that time in Tennessee and knows what it's like to be in a losing franchise and be a star. And I think he is so much more
Yeah,
committed to just winning.
he Tennessee wasn't necessarily a losing franchise. They had Mike Vrabel as a head coach down there. That team competed every year.
That's true.
With,
That's true. That's
with,
kind
with
of an
Mike
unfair
Vrabel,
assessment.
he didn't have a very good quarterback.
That's true. It is. But I mean, all that time in Tennessee, he never was super involved in the offense either because it was the Derrick Henry show.
Right. That's true.
So you could always see this.
He had the one good year.
Yeah, he's not gonna throw the fit. If Justin Jefferson doesn't get targets, you're gonna see him throwing a fit. If Jamar Chase doesn't get targets, you're gonna see him throwing a fit.
If Lamb don't get targets, yeah, you're gonna see it.
Yeah, AJ Brown's not gonna do that, and I
Yeah.
think he's so committed to winning, which is fantastic for the franchise. But
It
sucks for fantasy
sucks
owners.
for okay. So while we're in the hate part, I'm just gonna go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I hate AJ Brown versus the Broncos
I
this
figured you
week.
never ask me about a specific player unless you're leading into something.
Yeah, and then I also I kind of agree with you. I'm not saying that I wouldn't start him. I think I would start him on matchup that I think they may pass the ball more.
Game that's going to be close, a game that they can't pound somebody into submission. Yeah.
Or if something was to happen, somebody gets out on a good lead on that defense, which I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. That defense is good.
And I love Jacoby Myers this week against Indy. I like Myers. I think if you think Indy's going to thrash the Raiders, that gives me a lot more hope that Jacoby gets a lot more targets because they're going to be playing from behind.
Laying the ball.
I think it could be the other way around. I think the Raiders are going to thrash Indy, but we'll see. I love him either way. And finally, the squad, they love Garrett Wilson versus the Cowboys. Surprise, surprise. And they hate Debo going against the Chargers this week. And I think I do too.
Yeah.
Who do you like better for the rest of the year, Debo or McLaurin?
I think it's still McLaurin. I mean, Jaden Daniels comes back. I think the connection's there with McLaurin.
All right. Love hate for the tight ends for week 5. One guy, if you're what?
I'm not going with Tyler Warren, so.
You said you like Dalton Schultz, the Texans, which he does got a really good matchup against that Baltimore defense. They're ranked 23rd against tight
Baltimore's defense has not been great across the board
this year. I mean, that defense doesn't scare me at all.
No.
And we'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. You agreed with the pod squad this week, and you agree and you hate Mark Andrews this week against
Mark Andrews
the Texans.
for the rest of the season.
What about Isaiah Likely?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I got to see consistency from him. I think he'll have games where he'll produce, but I just think you got to have consistency from him before I'm ready to say, hey, this is the future at tight end.
Yeah, I still think Mark Andrews.
I could see them drafting. I agree. I think next year they draft a tight end.
Yeah, I think Mark Andrews is still in the way, but I don't think Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews anymore.
No, I agree with that. All right. I love Dalton Kincaid this week going against the Patriots. Um, Patriots have been one of the worst going against tight ends this year. Plus Kincaid, I just think he's due. You talked about everybody, had the big game. Kincaid's had a semi big game, but I think this might be a chance where
Gates had some good ones.
you might have you might see these top two quarterbacks who are eerily similar in play, um, just go at it and stuff. This might be a shootout, but I think Kincaid's going to eat this week.
I like it.
And I hate, on the other end of that, I hate Hunter Henry this week. If you're in a double tight end league like I am, start Henry. I'm not going to say don't start him. He projected to get over 10 points. Start him. But if you don't have to start him, if you got a better matchup and you got Schultz or Kincaid on there, take him. Start him.
Move it on.
All right, the Pod Squad community loves Sam Laporta, and I know you do too. I know you
I do.
love him all season long.
I do. I like me some Sam Laporta.
I like a little Laporta.
I'm a Laporta guy.
I got to thank him for one of my league championships in a double tight end league. Actually, him and Kincaid both was on that team. All right, we're finally to our last players, and we're just going to go with a love in any position for the rest of the year. What player do you love for the rest of the year? Who do you love?
Shit, I don't know. Give me yours, and I'll sit there and think about it.
Well, I'll tell you. I got three of them. I like everybody on Miami: Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, and Darren Waller. I think they're all three gonna see the receptions, the targets that Hill is losing for the year, spread out highly between them two. I think Malik Washington will see a little bit more, but I think it's going to be the Jalen Waddle show, and I think you'll see Darren Waller get his, and of course A-Chain. And I'm going to go ahead and make a little prediction with this Hill injury. I'm predicting A-Chain finishes as the number one player in fantasy this year.
Okay.
So I love him for the rest of the year.
Okay.
The squad community, and I don't hate this. He got a little Jerick McKinnon in him. Rashad Smith, running back for Kansas City. Nice little stash later on down the year, I think.
Okay.
So what about you, bud? We bring it. We're all down to you now.
I like Emeka Ibuka.
Oh yeah.
I think he's showing. I know Chris Godwin came back last week, but I think the way Ibuka has played, I don't think. I think
I'm not surprised by it,
but I don't think he's going away. I love Breece Hall. I love Breece Hall coming into the season, and I think Justin Fields has been what's the word I'm looking for? Better than expected. Serviceable. I'll
be honest with you. Can I say something about that real quick? That week that Fields was out with his concussion and Tyrod Taylor played.
Yep.
I mean, I don't love Tyrod Taylor, but I love Wilson that much more.
Yeah.
Love Garrett Wilson.
I like this. I don't know. I like Breece Hall the rest of the season for fantasy owners. I don't think the Jets are going to be very good offensively, but I think Justin Fields has shown an ability to kind of keep you in it, kind of not let everybody run away from them where they have to absolutely abandon the run.
Yeah, but that also, you mentioned Justin Fields. Justin Fields to me takes away some running from Breece Hall, I think.
Still look pretty good this year.
He does. He don't. I mean, I'll eat crow. I hated him for the year.
I just
I
wanted you.
hated him.
I just wanted to flex and hear you say it.
Yeah. I mean, he's looked good. He. I'll say this: early on in the process, he was being drafted earlier than what I liked. Now, later, as we got closer to the season, he was falling into closer to where I was liking in that 50 range. I was thinking more along 60, 65, but I liked him.
I think he's outperforming that 50 spot though. I
Yeah,
think.
but not by a lot right now. He's
Yeah,
not.
it
He's
was
an
probably
RB2
somewhere in the middle, but
for a guy
yeah,
that was the number two running back. What 2 years ago? That's just
yeah,
what. That's what I guess. I guess you could say I had a little higher hopes for him.
yeah.
And then with Fields coming in, I felt like Fields would take away goal line touches, and I felt like he would, take away just runs, period. And you're seeing that to an extent. Like I believe Brees Hall could be getting a lot more volume than what he's getting right now.
Which I'll eat crow on Tucker Craft as well. I guess that would be another one I really like the rest of the season.
Oh,
Jordan
you
Love
didn't
is,
like him?
huh?
You didn't like Tucker Craft coming in?
I did not. I said every time that Tucker Craft got brought up that the Packers have a history of misusing tight ends and kind of forgetting they exist, and I had to see it to believe it in order
Well,
to.
you and Raider J both. I was higher on him. Actually, I got him in our dynasty league. I was
He
higher
was
on him than
you were way higher on him than I was. I know.
you. You guys, and I hate this because it was early in the season or early in the off season. You guys talked him down so much that it put like kind of a dark cloud over my head in that league. So you kind of got one on me when I traded you, or whenever I traded for Dalton Kincaid. So, you know,
Yeah, you had it, but I didn't believe in him. I
you
mean,
gotta quit playing mind games with me.
there's been a lot of Packer tight ends that have just so disappointed. I
I'll
mean,
say
even
this. I'll say this with Kraft real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think he still has games where he uh does perform that he gets like single digits.
yeah,
Um, but
there's a lot of
I think you're going to see a lot more consistency from him this year, though.
yeah. So I mean, I go all the way back to like when Jimmy Graham went to Green Bay, and we were like, oh my God, Jimmy Graham with Aaron Rodgers, and
Yeah,
everybody was super excited, and like no tight end has been relevant at Green
really,
Bay.
really, in Aaron Rodgers' career, I'll just say this: in his career, he's only had a tight end like really, have a good year or two, maybe like once or twice. One of them being
Very rare.
Mercedes Lewis,
Yeah,
but
very
like Brett Favre was the opposite. I mean, he got his tight ends involved.
yeah, very very rarely. I mean, in my existence of being a
Yeah,
fan, it's been very rare that a Green Bay. So I was very much on the I got to see it to believe it, and I'm not buying into Tucker Craft, and I was wrong. He's
I
there.
kind I kind of wonder, how Luke Musgrave would be if he got more opportunity.
Yeah, see, that
He
was
was
another one.
actually
I was high on
drafted.
Musgraves.
Musgrave was actually drafted ahead of Kraft in the
Yeah,
actual draft.
yeah, I was high on Musgraves, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, well that guy didn't work. There's another tight end that's went to the land of irrelevant.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I mean, I
yep,
just didn't believe that Green Bay could have a serviceable tight end, but they do. So
yeah. All right, real quick, I'm gonna go over our uh, our Chop Fantasy League, the FF Pod Squad Chop Fantasy League. This was a 16 team league. What'd you think about that, real quick?
listen, I love this league. Okay, I am into it. I'm super into it. Like I love this league. I check it regularly. I have probably more people messaging me in this league about different things than any other league that I'm in. This is fun. This league is super fun. I've quite enjoyed myself.
It really sucks because as you can see, I'm gonna take you through the standings here. We had another one bite the dust. Marcus, Marcus's magnificent team, I think. Uh, he's the one that got chopped. He had some players.
He did.
Devon A. Chain,
There were some
Lamar,
players.
Sutton. I mean, you came away with Lamar. How much did you say you bid it on Lamar?
I bid a little high. I don't remember. I bid a little high. I think it was 300, but I was sitting at it's very dependent on what you need, I've noticed. So I'm very apt to not spend on wide receivers. I'm very much more apt to spend on running backs and quarterbacks because I've been riding with C.J. Stroud this whole time. And Stroud's a very good NFL quarterback, but it's not great for me in the fantasy world. So I bid a little high on him, make sure I got him. And I know he's hurt, and I might still be riding C.J. Stroud here for a little bit, but I think I could survive long enough to get back Lamar. But I had to get Lamar on the team. I had to get him.
You know, that's what, you know, I told you that this is not a good league for me because I am a slow starter. As you can see, a lot of my players, they're finally starting to break now. Drake London's finally starting to break out. Thank God for that. Thank you, the fantasy gods, for that. But Lad McConkey, he needs to come out. So I'm shouting you out right now, Lad. Let's get it, boy. Chase Brown, you're another one. Let's get it. You guys caused me to get chopped this year. So let's get it. I got you guys in a couple other leagues. So let's turn up the heat, guys. But anyways,
this league has been extremely fun, though. This is something that kind of me and you talked about, and we were like, "Hey, let's go do this. This is neat. Let's go try this." And
yeah, and I love that we did the 16 team format because it actually makes it for a longer season. I guess you could have done it with 12 teams, but
I guess you
then you're done after 12 weeks.
Yeah,
but like
all the
and right, I like this format. Definitely want to do it again. I think next year we'll open it up more to the public. We'll try to get more viewers involved. We do got a lot. Yeah, I'd say you probably are, bud. One of the things I think I might want to try to institute next year is being able to trade that FAB money.
Ooh, I don't know if anybody be willing to. Well, I mean, it'd be interesting.
I mean, for you sell a player for FAB money and maybe a lower player if you can do that. Right now, I think it's set up where you can't do no trade.
Right. Okay.
So next year, if the app will let me, I'm going to make it to where you can trade, and I might have to go in and manually remove money from somebody and put it to somebody else, which I know I can do that.
Well, good. Manually remove the money you got down there in Chop Land and give it to me.
I mean, I don't think I can do that, bud, but
I'm broke. Help me out.
But next year, though, yeah, I think if that's something we can do, I definitely want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have an opportunity to do that, it's the Sleeper app, it's the Chop League, and it even though I'm out of it, it is a blast. I'm just having fun seeing all these guys go at it for these bids. And I'm super excited to see once we get down to the last 4 teams, how is it going to be? Because are we going to have guys that spend all their money and not be able to utilize it later in the year? Or,
be left come the end of it,
Right. I mean, if, look at the one guy after the first week, spent $750 on one player, Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm
curious. I don't know. I think, guys, you can definitely see that different strategies are going into play here. Like somebody like me, I'm jumping in there. I'm trying to take all the guys I can get right now, and
that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, other guys are putting money back and waiting until later in the season when more guys keep hitting and
Right,
they got all the money and can just buy who they want. So I'm curious to see how this is going to play out.
Raider J asked me, he asked me how much I would spend on A-Chain, but he also gave me the caveat that he would really like to save his money for, somebody like Bijan or, a comparable player like that, Puka or somebody. I'm going to say this, if you got Bijan or Puka, it's probably going to be late in the season before they get chopped unless they just get the bed in one of their games, which is very possible.
Yeah, you don't know. Definitely different strategies are coming into play here.
I don't hate the strategy of getting McCaffrey like that for so much. You still got $250 left to play with. Having McCaffrey might give you the ability to prolong that wait and wait till everybody close to being out of money. Then you got pretty much you got the advantage to yourself then.
Yeah.
But there's still guys that have $1,000 that haven't spent nothing yet. More power to them too. I mean, they're still in it. But if it were me, I did it. I wasted my money, and it definitely didn't work out.
Still got put out. Let's see what happens. I'm curious.
All right, guys. Well, we're at the end of the show now. Dustin, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on such short notice. I know you didn't have time to research or anything. I know we did it, fly by the pants kind of thing. But it's always a blast having you on. Me and you, we always got that chemistry. So I mean, yeah. So,
I just ride it out, boy. You turn the camera on and the lights on. Let's go.
All right. So since nobody can see me, would you like to do the honor and take us out?
I don't know how we taking them out.
However let's do a bluegrass beer takeout tonight.
Oh Lord, I ain't got nothing to drink. We can't do that. All right, well, this is for the big man, Aaron Spillman, the fantasy guru. I am Dustin, the bluegrass beard niece. This is the Fantasy Football Pod Squad show. We appreciate you so much, and we'll see you again next week.
And as always, guys, remember, it's nothing personal. It's a fantasy thing.
Come join us next week and get in on the fun. Find us on Facebook at Fantasy Football Pod Squad, the group page, to be part of the show. And follow us on X at Squad1 at FF Pod Squad. Like us and follow us on TikTok at FF Pod Squad 1. Until next week, remember, nothing personal. It's a fantasy thing.